another podcast with the three money amigos. Today, we're going to be talking about Giving Tuesday. We are in the heat of the holiday season, and we're going into that period where people are trying to decide on how to give, to whom to give to, and what is the benefits. And it's okay to wonder what the benefits are to giving. Like sometimes we feel like we got to go in the closet and figure out, like, is there a tax benefit here? Is there not a tax benefit there? We're going to talk about it today. And with that, today's Giving Tuesday. We all have organizations that we support. So we're going to, when we do our introductions, if everybody can name one organization that they suggest people give to. Again, this is not an endorsement of the organization or say you have to give to the organization. These are organizations that we support, and we're letting you know in case you feel so inclined and in the spirit of giving to, you want to give to them. So I'll go first this time. My name is Brent. I know, right? Because I had the floor. So my name is Brent Simpson. I'm the co-founder of Investing Education Academy, along with Leon Noble. If you are interested in learning how to have your money become your employee, basically having your money work for you to make more money, you can come to us and learn about the stock market, cryptocurrency, real estate, and the such. Now, with that, the organization that I support is called Mama Toto Village. We will put all these links into the comments area so you can see them. Mama Toto's Village is a doula service for mothers who can't afford to get support during the birthing process. Normally, these are women of color, and if you don't know, the number of women of color who die during pregnancy and delivery is the highest of all women. Black women. Black women's death rate during pregnancy and delivery is higher than all other women. So Mama Toto's Village provides doulas to make sure that these women have support during the time period where they're actually going through the pregnancy and delivery process. So Mama Toto's Village, I'll put it in. And full disclosure, I am on the board of this organization.
So I'm going to go next. I'm Joy Sistrunk of Premier Group. We are a CPA firm in the Lanham area. We do all of your back office accounting and CPA needs, whether it's audit or taxes. We're here in tax planning as well as um, government contracting support with any federal agencies. So the organization that we are supporting this year is Next One. They are an organization that worked with Black and Latinx youth to expose them to STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, athletics, and math. And we help to get them prepared. They help to get them prepared for the future. So again, we're going to drop the link in the chat, and I would love for you to support them.
Is it Next the number one or Next ONE?
It's Next NEXXT1 spelled out Academy.
Okay.
I am Beverly Winstead, and I am known as the IRS help attorney, and I help people that typically have problems with the IRS, whether they're going through an audit and need to defend. I got a call coming in. Sorry. And need to defend against the IRS. I also will help people that owe large amounts of money to the IRS, help to negotiate settlements, or help with unfiled tax returns. The organization that I support, actually, I support a lot of organizations. I've supported Mama Tutu's Village in the past. Did I say that correctly?
Nope. Mama Toto.
Mama Toto. I'm
Yes.
sorry. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I knew it was something that was important to Brent, and so I also supported that organization as well as my own organization where I started in memory of my brother, and that is the Lewis Eddie Winstead Memorial organization, and we give financial assistance to at-risk kids growing up in, I would say, small communities in North Carolina. To date, since we started in 2017, we've given 15 $1,000 scholarships, and we're going to be looking to continue to do that. We also do mentorships, financial mentorships for youth ages 6 to 16 with that organization. So I will also drop that link in the chat. But yeah, I've been giving a lot of money this whole couple of last few days. I think if you know me, I really have a heart of a giver.
Mhm.
Whether it's my time, whether it's my energy, or whether it's my finances, I do believe that what you give off in the world comes back to you. So if I have the ability to give, I definitely try to give. I mean, there are times when I don't have the ability to give, but giving is definitely dear to my heart.
And so that takes us right into the topic that we're going to talk about today is giving. A lot of you all are thinking it's the holiday season. I want to give. You may, and you said also important time, treasures, and talents, right? And so,
I love that.
so if you're looking to
Can you
give
repeat that, Brent, so people
time,
can hear?
treasures, and talent,
Time, treasure, and talent.
those are things that
Explain
you
what
can
that
give.
means.
Okay, so not everybody has the ability to write a check, but that doesn't mean that they're all of a sudden not. They don't have something to give to an organization to help it grow or serve its community. So maybe you can't write a big check, but you can give your time. You can go to the organization, you can volunteer, you can do some online trainings for them. You can help them organize diapers to put into bags to go out to people. You can help deliver food. Last weekend, the Alphas, my chapter alone delivered, I think it was 122 bags of, turkeys, meats, vegetables, everything you would need to have a Thanksgiving dinner. And that was time based for some of us, but then it was also treasure based for others because they paid for the food to come in. So those that didn't have the money could give their time to put the bags together.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you look at your talents. Maybe you have the understanding of taxes that no one else has. And you do what Attorney Winstead does. She gives that talent to the clinic, to the law clinic at University of Maryland. And so she's giving the talent she has to the people who come in for that service, and she's helping them with their taxes. What can you tell us about the clinic real quick?
Yeah, so I run the tax clinic. It's a low income taxpayer clinic at University of Maryland, and we help people that can't really afford to hire an attorney to help them resolve their tax problems. So we do it. It's totally pro bono. We pay for the clinic itself pays for everything, and we typically you'll be working with a student attorney throughout the semester to help try to get your taxes resolved.
So with that being said, let's run down that list. If you're giving your treasures, how does that affect your taxes? That's the conversation. And up to how much can you give? How much, like, is there an amount that's so small that you can't get a tax write-off? Because I know a lot of us think, well, I gave $2 every month to the church. Nobody cares about that. Yeah, it adds up over time. So, what can you do with that? So let's go first with taxes. If a person is writing a check, their treasurer, and they're writing a monetary check to an organization that is not a nonprofit, but they're a socially conscious organization, is there a tax write-off for them?
There is not. Not unless they have a business, not as an individual.
So that's a good point, because when you said not unless they have a business.
A business.
Yeah. So why don't you expand about that, Joy?
Sure. So if you have a business and you give money to an organization, that is a write-off because it is considered a business expense. But if you were a person trying to just give to a socially conscious organization, that is not a charitable deduction by the IRS, but in the eyes of the IRS, because they're not a authorized 501c3, which sometimes people find themselves, in that situation. The IRS is going to look at, if you write it off on your taxes, they're going to want to know that that this organization is a legitimate and a current, because sometimes people have it and then they don't. They're a current 501c3 organization where you can use, whether you've received a letter and you can write off that charitable donation as an individual.
Yeah. So let me actually clean up just one thing, because I want people, because I've seen people use their businesses and they pay their tithes and offerings through their business, right? Yeah, so it's still a deductible. Let's just say it can flow through, possibly, potentially. not as a business expense,
Mm-mm.
but a charitable donation, which charitable donations can be taken on the 1120, the 1120S as a flow through item to shareholders, as well as on a 1065, which are partnership returns. So you still potentially could get some credit for it. The better deduction for business owners is what Joy was talking about, is that if an organization comes to you and say, hey, can you donate money? What I tend to do is say, no, I will be a sponsor.
Right.
And then that way it goes from the character of being a charitable contribution to actually a legitimate business expense, such as advertising, right?
Right.
And you get the better bang for your buck when you use it as advertising when you're a business owner. That's the beauty of entrepreneurship.
So you said the better bang for your buck. Like, elaborate on that, right?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, this country terms are coming out. Okay, better bang for your buck. So you want things that are going to be a dollar for dollar write off against income. So if I generate $1,000 in income, and someone asks me to sponsor an event, and at a $500 level, sponsorship level, then I can now take the $500 and reduce my $1,000 profit. And the only profit that I actually have is $500 now. That's what I'm going to be taxed on. If I treat it as a charitable donation, then I'm still going to be taxed as on the full $1,000 in terms of self-employment income, depending on how I'm set up. And then if I have enough money to make it over the threshold for itemizing, then I'll be able to deduct potentially the $500, which is a proportion. It's a percentage. It's not a dollar for dollar write-off that's going to reduce your tax liability, your tax burden.
This has been, if you've been listening already to the first couple minutes, you've gotten some golden nuggets, because some business owners didn't know that if you gave to a charitable organization or organization is not set structures of 501c3, there was still any tax benefit at all.
Right.
I personally, I just thought it was just you decide to give and give. Yeah. But so that was great information. But then when you start to delineate between, giving versus sponsorship, that's like a whole nother level where you're looking at a percentage deduction versus dollar for dollar. So anybody that just came in and you own a business or you're just giving, you definitely need to go back and listen to like the last 7 minutes because it was great information thus far. More to come. So with that being said, the other question is, if a person is giving to a 501c3, is there any difference between, I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in it, you guys know me, a not-for-profit organization or a certified 501c3?
That's a good question. So, like you could say sororities and fraternities are not-for-profit, right?
Yeah.
But they're 501c4s, I think. Right.
They are fours. Membership.
And then, but churches, a lot of churches aren't even certified 501c3s.
Right.
They're their own category.
They are.
They are. They have a special carve out.
Yeah.
Where they automatically, if you give to and donate to a church, it is deductible, right, Joy?
Yes.
Because I've seen people that but I've seen people where they have this ministry. And they're given to a ministry, but it's not a church. It has to be a church. It can't be just Beverly Winstead Ministries.
Yep.
Right.
That's absolutely.
So there is a certain designation. The main thing when it comes to 501c3s and whether it's a 501c4 is whether or not you're getting any benefit from it.
Right.
If you're given to your sorority and fraternities and you're getting a benefit, like membership dues or to attend an event, then in a lot of instances, that is not going to be what's considered a charitable donation.
Now, when you say the church piece, because I've actually run across people who have ministries, but not churches. When you file or is there a difference in the filing or
What do you
Like,
mean
how
when
do
you
you know if
file?
you are a ministry or a church? Is it the physical building?
It's how you set it up. It's not the
Okay.
physical building, it's how you set it up. Because there are some churches that actually, run in schools and other places. It's really how they chose to set it up with the IRS. Did they designate themselves as a church, or did they set up an LLC for their ministry? And that's not, and that's the other thing. Churches have to be corporations. A ministry can be any type of business. So you do want to, I don't want you running around asking your pastor or your minister, are you a 501c3 or are you just a ministry? Because they may not even know the answer to that question, but you do want to get you want to kind of designate or talk to one of the trustees about how the funds are designated or how they set the organization up.
Right,
So
because even if you look at TD Jakes, the church is the Potter's house,
Yes.
which is the 501c3, right? But he has TD Jakes Ministries,
He does.
LLC, which appears to be a for-profit, right?
And that's where he
he's
does
selling,
his books and his
yeah,
stuff.
he's selling his
as
books,
merchandise.
his movies, his recordings, all under that branch. So you do want to be careful. I've seen people that actually aren't really, I would say, jackleg people
Jack
that are out just getting a lot of money from people and then that person particularly wants to deduct it on their tax return. It's not deductible.
It's not deductible. Mm-mm.
okay, so now again, you all have the ability to ask some questions before you give to bring clarity to it. And it's been two notes that one person said his church has annual meetings about
Which is
finance.
amazing. I love, that's what you want. You want clarity, you want transparency, you want to know what's going on. And in those meetings, please, when they're having them, please ask questions. Don't just sit there and read or play on your phone. That's really the time to ask questions and find out, is it a ministry? Is it an organization? What's going on with the church's finances? Because I know a lot of people always are concerned about what's happening with the church.
Yep. And also, when you start having some churches even have boards.
Yep.
And their boards will meet and go through the finances, go through everything happening with the church. But the question today is like, what's the write-off, or how does it affect me? So for people going into Giving Tuesday in this holiday season, if a person decides out of the goodness of their heart, they drive by a park every day and they notice there's a large number of people in this park that seem like they're without, and they just go to Walmart, they go to Target, buy a bunch of stuff and drop it off in the park. Is there anything that they can do to let the government know they did it and to reduce their taxes?
Not really. And now in the prior years, possibly because of the pandemic, there was an exception where they were giving people who were not itemizing the option to, if you were single, $300 or $600 if you were married, to write off charity. But at this point, they've stopped that. That did not get extended. There is no, if you do not itemize, there is no way to really write off your charitable deductions. And even if you are itemizing, if you go to Walmart and buy a bunch of stuff and just hand it out, that's not a deduction anyway, because it didn't run through a qualified or authorized 501c3.
All right. And so for those of you all who are doing things, it's not to say stop. Let's be clear. I want to make sure I say that before we even go on. Just understand that we're trying to prevent you from doing something on your taxes that costs you the opportunity to take a trip to Beverly's office because you filed and claimed a whole bunch of stuff you shouldn't have done. That's why we do these talks with the Three Money Amigos, is to bring clarity and not to necessarily stop you from doing something that's charitable in your heart. And so,
let me also say this, because this is a huge thing. So you made the decision to give, you're going to give. The other part of this is you want to make sure that you have good records too of your giving. Like, do not give cash. I always say that. Do not give cash, because if IRS comes back, then what proof do you have that you actually gave cash? Unless, let's say, you gave it to the church and the church has an accurate accounting. They're going to give you a statement of account at the end of the year as to your total donations. But if you're going to let's say a school, and you're giving cash of $100, I'll say major donations. We all go to the school, and the school may be doing a little bake sale, so you'll give $10 there, or just, I would say those are de minimis amounts that you probably don't even care about anyway. It's just convenience to give cash. But when you start talking about high dollar amounts, and you say that you're giving it consistently $200 a week, which I've seen people say that. And I'm like, you gave it in cash? Yeah, I gave it in cash. That's going to be very challenging to uphold and defend on an audit. So you want to make sure, to the extent that you can, write cancel checks, or if you give through PayPal, some churches take PayPal, Venmos. You want to make sure you have accurate accounting. And then you also want to be careful when it comes to GoFundMe fundraisers, because GoFundMe fundraisers a lot of those are not sponsored by 501c3s. It's a charitable act because you are giving to someone in need.
Right.
But it's not tax deductible because, again, it's not a 501c3.
Right.
Yep. So now let's talk about this group, business owners in particular, who decide to give their time. And some people say, well, let's throw time and talents in there. So some people think, well, I'm not going to give to this 501c3 legitimate organization money, but I will come and provide my talent and give my time to talk to your community for whatever purposes. Can a business owner write off that time that they spent with the charitable organization?
No. I say no. That's my first instinct. No. A lot of times people want to value their services. Like if I go and I donate 8 hours giving counseling when it comes to tax matters, let's say my average rate is $400 an hour. That's $3,200. I can't then take it on my tax return and say I gave or donated $3,200. That your time is not. So anytime, like even for speaking engagements, let's say speakers always want to get paid, and then if they decide to turn around and then write a check back to you, then they will get the deduction that way. So no, giving up your time you can't get a deduction for that.
Okay. Well, that's a lot that we covered in this short amount of time. So we're going to let people digest that. I think we probably can continue along this path. But for now, think about it. We're in Giving Tuesday, and we're going to go around the room again just to reiterate what those organizations are that we support and how you can get in contact with us. But also, this is a business discussion. So for you business owners out there, and you're going into December, it's days away, a day away. What are you doing to plan for this coming year? And also, what are you doing to close out 2022 financially? So if you haven't started to, get your accounts in order, reconcile all the things you need to do, you need to contact one of the people here. And if you don't have a plan for how your money is going to grow in 2023, you need to contact some of the people here, because it's important to have a plan. Because if you don't have a plan, you're just guessing. And, nobody drives anywhere that they haven't been before by guessing. They want a map and they want to follow some directions. So, we can provide the map for you, but only if you ask for it. With that being said, again, I'm Brent Simpson, co-founder of Investing Education Academy, along with Leon Noble. And we help people understand how to turn their money into their employees by showing them how to invest in stock market, cryptocurrency, real estate, private equity deals, and other types of investments. The charity that we're supporting today is Mama Toto's Village. After this is over, I'm going to put each one of these into the comments on Facebook so you can see it. And please support. It's Giving Tuesday. We definitely hope that you support. In full disclosure, I am on the board.
Joy. I'm Joy. Oh, do you want to go? I'm Joy Sistrunk of Premier Group. We are a CPA firm in the Washington, D.C. area. Again, we work with you on all of your back office accounting, audit, and tax needs. The organization we're supporting is Next One Academy. Just want to help invest in the future of our youth, which is what they do. And so we would love for you to support them.
And I am Beverly Winstead. Again, I'm the principal of the law office of Beverly Winstead. And the organization that I am supporting or consistently support is the Louis Eddie Winstead Memorial Fund. And I just dropped the link to the main website there. It's www.eddiewinsteadscholars.org. And then we also have an event coming up December 17th. We did this cooking event, I want to say maybe a year and a half ago. And so we're going to bring it back. We've had a lot of people ask us, hey, we're going to do another cooking event. So we will do it for December 17th. It'll give your kids an opportunity to bake some desserts before the holiday season.
Yeah, my girls loved participating in it last year, so it was a great event.
Yeah. So
With that being said, we thank everybody for being with us, and we will see you all next Tuesday about that 2 p.m. time frame. Have a good day and happy holidays.
Happy holidays.